Pressure is something which you need. I don't see or I don't want anybody to go through a life without pressure, because that means you're not good enough. So I think for all of us here who think about pressure, who think about job pressure, work pressure, family pressure, pressure of expectations, I think it's a happy space to be in. When you're enthralled with leadership, when you're enthralled with or given a responsibility to lead anything, whether it's an army, whether it's a nation, a state, a team, as an entrepreneur, I think the first and the foremost aspect which should come to your mind is that people think I'm good enough to do it. You better be in that position rather be in a position where people don't think you're good enough to do it. No, I think every individual is different. Every individual has different ways of leadership. When I became captain in 2000, India needed different dynamics.
Yes.
The world cricket was different, the stage was different, and I had to captain the side differently. We continued to become better after that. The systems changed in this country, then came IPL, which probably turned the cricket ecosystem around all over the world, and it continues to keep growing. Now I look IPL from a different side, from a president's point of view. From a BCCI president point of view, so I look at it from the other side and not from the point of a player. So, I would probably do it differently now than when I did, but I think India has produced some great captains over the years. MS Dhoni, who handled the transition fantastically and continued to bring accolades not for India but for his franchise, the Chennai Super Kings. Then came Virat Kohli, who's also got a fantastic record as captain. He was a different sort of a captain. He did things differently. And now Rohit Sharma, who's obviously somebody who's a bit laid back and who takes things in a very calm and cautious way, and is not someone who's into your face all the time. So every individual is different. At the end of the day, what matters is the results. It's what you do with your team and how many wins and losses you have against your name. So that's the way it is. So I don't compare captains of different generations. I don't think captains have to adapt to different generations, because everybody has his own way of leadership. And when you give somebody responsibility, and I say that to a lot of people in this room, and I say that to a lot of people who I work with, when you give responsibility to somebody, let him do it. We give responsibility to someone and then want him to do the things the way we want him. And I think that's not correct. So when you back someone, let him captain, give him a bit of time to give you results, and then see what happens. So, एक तो अच्छे लीडर में डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर बहुत होता है, वो किसी चीज़ को बात के लिए छोड़ते नहीं। देखिए, हर चीज़ में रिस्क होता है, यू बी सक्सेसफुल इन सम, यू वोंट बी, बट जो अच्छे लीडर होते हैं वो इतना दूर सोचते नहीं हैं, वो डिसीजन लेते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं। ये एक चीज़ है, आई हैव सीन विद लीडर्स, दे आर डिसाइसिव. Secondly, they are fearless. Get into tough situations. You imagine India chasing 325, and you have to score at 6 or 7 and over, and you walk into bat and you have to execute that. I think that talks about courage. That talks about guts. Look at MS Dhoni when he hit that 6 to win the World Cup final. India had won the game. There was no question of India losing that game from there. But it just spoke about his state of mind in a World Cup final. India at that game was stuck when he walked in at number 4 and went on to get a 90 and win it. So as a leader, he took the decision to walk in under pressure. So as a leader, you have to face things up front. If you want that dressing room, if you want your team, if you want your the troop of militaries to have confidence in you, to have faith in you, you have to stand up in the forefront and not lead from behind. I think that's very, very important. It's about facing the brunt from the front. So I think they're decisive, they're fearless, they are much ahead of time for the right and the wrong. As a leader, when you're given a responsibility as a captain of your team, you've been asked to take decisions, because they select you, and then when you're in the ground, when you cross the rope, it's about you only. You have no advice from anyone except your vice captain, maybe some of your teammates, on and off. So, the best thing one of the former captains told me when I first became captain, he said, when you walk out as a captain, don't think about what the selectors think about you, what the critics think about you. or what people in the stands watching the game think about you. At the end of the day, when you go to bed in the night, when you put your head on the pillow, you must be able to answer one question, is that as a captain whether you did what is best for the team. Because as I said, as long as I completed that 16 in bleed test, food did not matter. Only when you did not complete that 16 in bleed test, the physio asked you, are you eating biryani or cheese or butter? So it's all about attaining what you've been asked to achieve. And I used to keep it simple. You work so hard that nothing remained in your body. The hardest bit is when you finish training, because you don't train that same way. You're not playing matches. You're not 7 or 8 hours on a cricket field. So it even becomes difficult to achieve those landmarks. So.